people would get legitimately elected, and then they would try to do away with elections and do away with opposition and do away with a free press. And you could see it in countries where, well, Hitler was duly elected.
That's right.
Right? And so all of a sudden, somebody with those tendencies, those dictatorial, authoritarian tendencies, would be like, oh, okay, we're going to shut this down. We're going to throw these people in jail. And they didn't usually telegraph that. Trump is telling us what he intends to do.
We need to listen to
Take him at his word. The man means to throw people in jail who disagree with him, shut down legitimate press outlets, do what he can to literally undermine the rule of law and our country's values.
Putin does what he would like to do: kill his opposition, imprison his opposition, drive, journalists and others into exile, rule without any check or balance. That's what Trump really wants. And so we have to be very conscious of how he sees the world, because in that world, he only sees strongmen leaders. He sees Putin, he sees Xi, he sees Kim Jong Un in North Korea. Those are the people he is modeling himself after. And we've been down this road in our world history. We sure don't want to go down that again. And especially when, my view, having negotiated with Putin and knowing that one of the reasons he went after me is because he knew I would, deal with him in an appropriate way, and Trump would basically do whatever he wanted.
Go through the list of people that have been close to Hillary Clinton and the Clintons and the death pool. This is not a conspiracy. You got the names of James McDougal, okay, Clinton's convicted Whitewater partner, died of an apparent heart attack. Mary Mahoney, a former White House intern, was murdered July 1997 at a Starbucks coffee shop in Georgetown.
Ron Brown, he died in a plane crash.
Vince Foster Vince Foster was the next one. By the way, the James Dougal was a key witness in a key Ken Starr investigation.
Ron Brown was in a plane crash. Why is he on the list?
Ron Brown is another one, but there was a close person to this. Victor Razor, you got Paul Tooley, Ed Woolley.
Wait a minute, you're reading a list of people that Bill and Hillary Clinton knew. They're 80, they're 70-something years old.
I'm asking you this question. I'm asking you this question and an answer at the end. So you got Jerry Parks, Jane Bunch, James Wilson, Kathy Ferguson, Bill Shelton, Candy Bow, Florence Martin, Susan Coleman, Paula Grober, Danny Casolero, Paula Wilker, John Parnell Walker, Barbara Weiss. We should verify this yourself because you're running a radio show. You should look it up.
I don't know any of these
Dr.
names,
Stanley Hurd, Barry Beal, Barry Seal, Johnny Longhorn,
Can you read me the URL you're reading? Can you read me the URL you're reading?
We'll send you the most credible source you can look it up.
Let your listeners know what you're reading a list of.
We'll put the link below. We'll put the link below.
Just tell me so I know what I'm responding to.
Friday, Kevin Ivey, Dan Henry, Keith Coney. And these were part of the Ivy Henry case. Keith McCaskill.
What's the Ivy Henry case?
You can look it up. Ivy Henry case. So Gregory Collins, Jeff Rhodes, James Milland, Richard Winter, and then you got the close bodyguards, Major William Barkley, Captain Scott Reynolds, Brian Hanley, Tim Sable, General William Robertson.
You don't even know what you're reading a list of. How is this helpful?
Robert Kelly, Colonel Gary Rhodes, Steve Wills, Robert Williams, Conway LeBlue, Todd McKeon. I'm done. It's 46 names. And
of what? Can you read me the list? Can you read me the URL so I know what you read a list of before I answer any questions about it?
When I finish this, stillinthestorm.com. You can look it up.
Stillinthestorm.com.
You can look it up.
This is your big moment, guys.
Yeah, so you can go. And by the way,
ads about chemtrails at the end of it.
He hasn't even asked the question. He's just reading the article.
He's reading a list of names.
So
he hasn't even asked the question. It's a list.
The fact that you're getting nervous is an answer.
It's not nervous. This stuff makes me sick when you repeat
exactly.
these
Makes
ridiculous.
us sick as well. It also makes us sick.
It obviously doesn't.
Of course, because the establishment makes us sick.
You start the question by reading a list of well-founded.
Your reaction is an answer. I'll spend the next 2 hours with you one by one explaining who these individuals are if you want to do that.
How about you pick one? Pick one and tell me who he was and what his story was. No, not you. You were asking me the question. Pick one name and then tell me.
Pull up Vince Foster if you want.
No, Vince Foster, that suicide has been investigated 50 times.
I bet.
Maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
Let's get it on!
How do you do that? Because you said you have to defeat them by defeating their leader. Their leader is Donald Trump. Even you have said that you expect him to be the Republican nominee. How does this change at all?
At this point, I think, sadly, he will still likely be the nominee, and we have to defeat him. And we have to defeat those who are the election deniers, as we did in 2020 and 2022.
I think it's also
critical to understand that, as I've been telling candidates who have come to see me, you can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen from you.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did.
The base of the Republican Party, for whatever combination of reasons, and it is emotional and psychological, sees in him someone who speaks for them. And they are determined that they will continue to vote for him, attend his rallies, wear his merchandise, because for whatever reason, he and his very negative, nasty form of politics
to replenish the Social Security Trust Fund by making sure that we
resonates with them. Maybe they don't like migrants.
Roll tape.
Secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary.
That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
We need to try to incentivize Mexico to do more, and we need to create the environment in which we get people out of the shadows and then give them some earned right to legalization.
We are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years.
If they've committed transgressions of whatever kind, they should be obviously deported.
We will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes.
Maybe they don't like gay people.
I believe that marriage is not just a bond, but a sacred bond between a man and a woman. I have had occasion in my life to defend marriage, to stand up for marriage, to believe in the hard work and challenge of marriage. So I take umbrage at anyone who might suggest that those of us who worry about amending the Constitution are less committed to the sanctity of marriage or to the fundamental bedrock principle that it exists between a man and a woman going back into the mists of history as one of the foundational institutions of history and humanity and civilization.
Or black people.
They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy.
Or the woman who got the promotion at work they didn't get. Whatever the reason, make America great again.
I believe that together we can make America great again.
It was a bid for nostalgia, to return to a place where, people could be in charge of their lives, feel empowered, say what they want, insult whoever came in their way.
Sign me up.